Hello, everybody, and welcome to our live on Monday immigration update. We are streaming every single day for 20 days now to celebrate the 20 years anniversary of the law firm. In this period, in this process, we'll keep you updated. We'll send you, we do lives um, and just answer questions, and we do what we do best. So here we go. So welcome. This is Monday, and we are now on day 12 of our live streams. And come with your questions. Let us know where you are tuning in from, and let's start this week. It's been it's been crazy going on right now with all the immigration changes that are about to happen. Just people are worried about immigration, the backlogs. I mean, we're going to talk about the backlogs today a little bit. There's been a small decrease in the National Visa Center update about the backlogs. So we'll talk about that. They dropped from 315,000 cases in November to about 290,000 cases in December. And moving to January, we're going to see even a further decrease, which is a good news. So we'll talk about that, how it's going to impact other cases. And and all the questions you have, please post them in the comments. Welcome, Mervin, Ahmed, Odisa. Let me know where you're from, where you're tuning in the world. And as we do every day, you're welcome to join me on video, ask your questions, and post the link here. Ask your questions, and we'll be able to, answer your questions and see where we can go from there. As I mentioned before, the green card backlog seemed to be decreased by about 4% in December, which is a good news. That means that more visa interviews probably will be scheduled moving forward through February and March. And if this trend will continue, then I'm excited to see even more, even more changes moving in that direction. As always, if you're watching this on YouTube, Instagram, and our Facebook group, if you need to get a hold of me, please use the phone number right here, 619-483-4549, to book your appointments and to discuss your case in private. If you have specific questions about your case, please use this number. This is specifically for the live audience that is coming here. So I'd love to be able to share that with you. Let's take a few questions before we join with our TikTok community as well, that are getting ready to join our live as well in a couple of minutes. Mervin, thanks a lot, Mervin. I appreciate it. We have a question for P45. Can I add my spouse to my I-130 before the interview? I'm newly married. So if you are newly married and the petition is based on like a parent or something like that, I mean, it depends on what stage. Not at any stage you can. So, I need to know more about the petition. Like, what kind of petition is it? Adisa is asking, my N400 interview is more than 200 days, no response. What should I do, please? So remember, if you're waiting for your interview, that's one thing. Interview dates are vary right now. It depends on where you are in the country. But if you're waiting for a decision after the interview, that's a whole different story. And you might need to take some legal action in that respect. So just let me know if you're waiting for the interview or you're waiting 200 days after the interview. Those are two different things. And if you're waiting 200 days after the interview, you may be able to file a lawsuit against the government. Once again, anybody who wants to join on the video, just click on the link and you can join. I'll join you in a second. Let me see. And those of you that were here yesterday, if you We have a question from Natalia here. And what is going to happen with dependent asylee after divorce, asylum approval, but before the green card application? It definitely may impact their green card application because remember, you still have to wait a year before you apply for the asylum for the green card, obviously after the approval. So it could impact the approval if there's divorce, if the divorce is final. So the question is it just you filed for divorce or is the divorce final? Okay, if the divorce is final, then that could be trouble in the case. Um, we've got people joining here from Serbia, from Chicago, from the Philippines. We have now our TikTok community joining. And if you see this stream right now, let me know where you're coming from on this beautiful Monday night. Welcome, welcome. Um, from Serbia, we've got a person from Serbia. Do you know how long the criminal documents are valid for U.S. Embassy interview for EB3? Typically, criminal background check records that you have to submit to the embassy are usually good for about a year. So if you need to update, then make sure you update them. Um, good evening to all our TikTok viewers. We have a lot of people here from New York. We have a lot of East Coast people, New Jersey, Connecticut. We actually have an office in Connecticut. So, let me know where you're from and drop your questions. We'll get there. I'm excited for this Monday night questions with you guys. All right, let's take a video. I think Gabby's waiting here, and then I think Zach is also. So let's get Gabby on video. Hello, Gabby. How are you? Let me know
Hi.
where you're from and ask your question.
Hi, my name is Gabby and I am from Panama City, Panama.
Panama City. Okay, nice.
Yes. My question is, well, it's like this. It's kind of like a difficult case.
Okay,
I thought it was easy, but then it's like now that the interview's coming up, I think it's a little difficult.
okay,
Um, let's say that I had a green card when I was a kid through
okay,
my parents, my mom and my dad.
okay,
They renewed it twice for me. One was in 94, the other one was in the year 2000, and it was in 2001. And then my green card expired in 2011.
okay,
What happened was that I left the States in 2007,
okay,
and I left for 4 years, and I didn't come back in until December of 2011. Now, what had happened was that at that time, he was my boyfriend at that time. We had
okay,
a child here in Panama, and since his
okay,
mother was living here in Panama and he was a citizen, he decided to stay, and I decided to stay here with him.
okay,
And we had our baby here. We had our baby was like a reported birth abroad, so our baby was a U.S. citizen. However, when
okay.
I tried to enter the States back in 2011, my
Right,
green card, it was only like 5 days before my green card expired. When I got there, they gave me something called a I-551, which was
right,
like a
right.
temporary green card.
Like a temporary, like a stamp on your green card.
Yes, I
Yeah.
don't know, but see, that's the thing is like I really don't remember
Okay.
because I know that I have the I-551 because I still have it.
Okay.
Um, but my daughter, she had not gotten her U.S. passport yet from
Okay.
the embassy. So I decided to go in, but then I left right away. I only stayed like 6 days and I came
Okay.
back to Panama. But the
Thanks.
Custom Border Protection officer, I don't remember if it was that or Homeland Security, he told me that I had to see a judge in January. But I
Okay.
didn't stay. I only stayed 6 days and then I came back because
I
he
see.
thought that I had abandoned my green card because
I
I was
see.
out of the
That's why you
country.
send you to a judge. Got it. So
Yes.
right now you're back home and you're wondering what you can do, right?
Well, what happened was that I went ahead, my husband went ahead and he filed the I-130.
Okay.
Well, it's been 12 years. He filed the I-130, which we got approved. And he on the I-130, he put my A number on there. We went through the embassy process and everything.
Okay.
And everything went fine in MBC too. However,
Okay.
my interview's coming up and I didn't know that that could come up on my interview.
I see. I see. Okay, I get it. So basically, you have this court appointment that you didn't go to, you just left, and now you're going to have your green card interview in Panama, and you're worried what's going to happen, correct?
Yes, and it's been 12 years.
Okay. Well, but your interview is coming up when?
It's on Monday.
Okay. So you have to realize that there could be a problem at this interview because, again, what you should have done is order a FOIA to find out what is the status of this particular court. Because
Mhm.
my concern is if you go to this interview and they will have a record saying that you are basically you didn't show up, and then that your case is kind of like you didn't show up in absentia. They made an order in absentia. This
Mhm.
order could impact your interview at the U.S. Embassy. You understand? So I think when you go to the interview, you need to mention this particular hearing that that, you didn't know you have to attend, and then so it doesn't look like you're trying to hide it. And then they'll tell you what's going to happen at that point. I mean, they're not going to do anything to you. They'll just give you paperwork, and then you'll have to deal with it at that point. Okay. So if you want, after the interview, just get in touch with an attorney, or if you want to, you can call my office or whatever. But and then let me know what they said. But the point is that there's nothing you can do now. That it's just a few days before this interview. You just have to be honest about it, not hide the fact that you had this hearing, and they will basically tell, okay, this is what we see in the record. Now you have to do the following. Maybe you have to do a waiver. Maybe you're gonna have to do something. Okay. I can't hear you. No, we can't hear you. I don't know. We lost your. Maybe try to reboot it. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't hear your. But I understand your question. So the point is that, if you go into the embassy interview and you had any issues with the court, like she had, it's important to take care of it before the interview. It's important to get the FOIA to find out why, what is the status of your case. All right, guys. We'll get back to Gabby once she's back in and she can finish her question. In the meantime, um, Gia is asking from TikTok, if you're granted a green card as a child, left the country and returned back, will it still be valid? So remember, a green card is only good for a certain amount of time. And also, if you have a green card, you have to live in the United States. If you leave the United States for over a year, that green card will not be valid. So unfortunately, in your case, if you haven't been in the U.S. since a child, you lost your green card. Thanks, Soraya. Thanks, Libby, for the challenge. We're gonna meet that challenge today as well. Gabby, I'll bring you back so you can finish your question, and then we'll move to other questions.
Okay. Thank you
Yeah,
for bringing me back.
yeah,
I don't know why we lost
yeah,
connection, but
yeah.
then my other question was, in order to receive a court order, did I need to have like an notice to appear or something like that?
Not necessarily. You got yours at the border. Do you remember? So they gave you some paperwork at that time, right? They gave you a court date, and
No,
that's
exactly. They didn't give me a court date exactly. The only thing that they gave me was the I-551, and then they said that they were going to contact me to see an immigration
oh,
lawyer.
okay, okay. So you're not even sure. Okay, that's actually good news. So you're not even sure that there was a court hearing.
Yeah, because and then we always when after this, it's like I've been asking my parents. I'm like, did I ever get anything in the mail? Did I ever
Okay.
get
Well,
anything in the
that's good news. If you were not received anything like you said, notice to appear, they have to serve you properly. If there's no proper service, then the court thing is not going to be valid. So yeah, maybe you never had it, so you'll be fine.
mail? Okay, all
Yeah, if
right.
you don't don't invent things in terms of like if you know for sure that you had the court thing and you have records of it, then you tell them. But if somebody just told you that they might call you for court, then then you were not called, so you'll be fine. Honestly.
Okay,
All right.
all
So
right.
good luck with the interview and just let us know after.
Okay, I will. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks a lot. So that's actually a good example. If like somebody threatens you, they're gonna say, okay, we're gonna send you to court like a CBP officer or ICE or USCIS. Until you actually get the notice properly served on you, you're not in court, right? You're still fine. So I think in Gabby's case, she should be okay. All right, we've got a lot of good questions here on YouTube. Let's see here. Benjamin from Ghana. We've got the Philippines. We've got Ghana. We've got Germany. Spain. On TikTok, we've got Brazil, Nigeria, we've got New Jersey, California, Arizona. Wow, we've got the full house, and the entire world is here. Benjamin is asking, my wife did I-130 application for me. NVC has approved all the documents they requested, and they sent us a message that they're trying to schedule an interview since the June 5th. So basically, Benjamin, the way it works is that NVC, and that kind of comes to the title of today's video, is that NVC is trying to um, schedule interviews, but the embassies are not opening interviews because they're still backlogs. So what you have to do is you just have to wait for the embassy to reach out to you or NVC once the interview will be scheduled. It's not unusual to wait for that long, and it hasn't been even a year for you, so you're still fine. Um, Tech is Tech in Boy is asking, can I live in the U.S. when waiting for a green card after it was approved? Um, Well, you can only live in the United States if you're going through an adjustment of status. Okay. If you have an application that's going through the National Visa Center, even if the first part was approved, like the I-140, you cannot live in the US. You have to wait for like an adjustment of status or something like that. Gia Gray says, can I contact you privately? Yes, Gia. I mean, again, for those of you from TikTok that are trying to get a hold of me, we have a lot of DMs that I received in the last 2 days. So the quickest way is to go to the link in my bio, Gia. Just go to the link in my bio. There's only one link and fill the information there. And one of my team members will contact you and they'll be able to schedule you to speak with me if you want to talk to me directly. So please go to the link in my bio. Do not send me DMs, at least for the next couple of days until we um, catch up with our messages. All right. So the link in my bio is very simple, immigrationasap.com. And then do that. Sid is asking, when is EB3 Unskilled going to become current again? Um, and again, so that's a good question. This is one of the topics in our YouTube title today. The green card backlog has been decreased by only 4%. So for EB3 to become current, it's probably going to take another year or so, maybe 2 years, unless something major drastic is going to happen. But right now, the wait time for visas in most categories is taking a long time. And just like we do on YouTube, if you want to go on video on TikTok, please line up and I'll bring you on video and you can ask your questions. Let me get Zach has been waiting patiently on YouTube, and then we'll get more questions from YouTube and ask and get video questions from TikTok as well. Zach, where are you from and what is your question?
Good evening, sir. My name is Zaki. I'm from Afghanistan and currently living in France. So,
Okay,
since last week, I'm waiting to get my answer. So, thank you so much for giving me the chance. Uh,
okay,
I have a question regarding my parents. My brother is a U.S. citizen and he's living in Seattle. So,
okay,
he applied for petition and their case is documentally qualified
okay,
since January 2023, and they're still waiting. And uh, as we requested the care team to relocate them from Afghanistan, but we couldn't get an answer. But through Congressman office, we contacted them, and
okay.
their answer was. I can confirm that CSC care team is tracking the case as a part of care team relocation process. All potential travelers over the age of 13 must clear pre-travel security vetting to be eligible for
Okay.
manifest on a government assisted relocation movement. We continually review eligibility, and if in the future this statute changes, we will contact Mr. AZ. We appreciate your support and patience as
Right.
our team works around. So we couldn't get the, and we don't know what does it mean and how long will it take.
So, right now, as I mentioned, there are a lot of backlogs specifically for certain countries. Your country is one of those. I mean, I don't have really like a magic solution as to what you can do aside from continue to follow up And I think, Zach, what you're going to see is that probably after maybe summer of 2024, you're going to see more movement in processing. I don't know if it's going to be necessarily impacting your country, but it's definitely going to be more movement at embassies and consulates worldwide. So for your specific question, all I can say is you have to keep following up with them.
So it's because of care team relocation process, or no? It's due to
No, it's
normally
a
they come
general
from the
backlog.
U.S. embassy in Afghanistan. So their cases in Doha, Qatar. So
Right. That's what
this
I'm
is
saying. It's a general backlog. It's not just one country.
okay. And also,
You
I have
understand?
another question. I used to
We,
support you.
I want to do just one question, Zach. You can. I'm doing this every day, so you
Okay.
can come back tomorrow and ask another question because I have so many questions I have to answer.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Have a good
No
evening.
worries. Come back
Bye.
again tomorrow. Thanks, guys. So as I mentioned, like I said, the visa backlog is worldwide. It's not specific to one country, and you're gonna see a bit of a push forward after summer. Um, Let me see here. Question for Feline: can a green card holder sponsor DACA recipient wife? And the answer is yes, but right now the wait time for green card holder sponsors is long, is over 2 years. So it's going to be more beneficial for a DACA to be sponsored by a US citizen. I would wait for him to become a US citizen and then he can sponsor you. That'll be a more effective way. All right, let's take some video questions from our TikTok audience as well. And then we can get more people from YouTube as well. We have please state your name, and if you have a video camera, please open it and ask your question. Uh, Now I can hear you. Can you say a question again?
Okay, my husband is a U.S. citizen. He filed for me for a green card. We went to an interview
Okay.
in June, and they asked us for a proof of income, tax return,
Okay.
bill, and all of that. We sent that back since August, but we did not get no response yet.
Okay. So basically, as I mentioned also yesterday in the live, when you get a request for evidence, especially in a green card case based on marriage, that's going to push your case quite significantly by quite a few months. So it's not unusual that they haven't responded to you yet. They're probably processing your RFE, and hopefully you're gonna get a response. So, but it's very common, by the way, that after you respond to requests for evidence, for them to to take some time to respond. As long as you responded properly for the RFE, you should be fine.
Yeah, we respond properly. We send everything.
Okay. So just wait for now. All you can do is wait. And I would follow up with them maybe every 60 days to make sure that things are being processed properly. Okay.
How we have to follow up.
The best way to follow up is you can call the USCIS phone number. It's a customer service, and you can escalate it to level two supervisor, and then they'll be able to give you more updates about your case.
All
Okay,
right, thank you.
of course.
I appreciate it.
So, like I said, try to avoid the RFE. If you can avoid requests for evidence, that's probably the best advice I can tell you. Make sure you put the evidence in there properly. Put all the information, the supporting documents, because once you get a request for evidence, it's more difficult to fight it. All right, let's see. We've got a question here from Yvette. My husband applied for U visa in 2016. 2 years ago, he applied for worker's permit, the work permit, and we haven't received anything yet. Requested an update, and nothing happened. Again, there are delays with U visa work permits, but like I said, it's also depends on where you reside in the country. And you need the best way to avoid these delays is seriously just follow up with the government to find out what's happening with your work permit. Um, because if you don't, they have such a huge backlog of cases, they're not going to give you a priority. So make sure you follow up with them, especially if you have a U visa work permit that is stuck and you're trying to get the answers. I would just follow up with them every single month. Um, All right, thanks for the hearts, guys, on TikTok. I appreciate it. Um, let's see here. Can a 601A be expedited if my dad has cancer? 601A and 601 cases cannot really be expedited because, like I said, they have a schedule of cases that they process, and you can't really expedite those waivers. But you, I mean, with the waivers, I would just file them as soon as you can. It's like as soon as you file your I-130, just file for the waivers, so you won't have any issues, and you'll be able to get them done fast. How long is it taking for USCIS to process adjustment of status cases? If you're in the country and the adjustment is based on marriage, you're looking at about 10 months average. Like I said, some cities are a little bit faster. Cleveland is faster. Arizona is not too bad. Florida, most cities in Florida are quite behind. Let me see here. Can I travel in a month after applying for a green card? I highly doubt it because it takes about 6 months to get a travel document. So I don't think you'll be able to travel after 30 days. It's taken about 6 months to get the travel permission. What can we do about DACA renewal delays? There's not much you can do about DACA renewal delays aside from following up and use the ombudsman's office, which is a USCIS internal affairs type of unit. Use the ombudsman's office to help you follow up on many of these cases. They've been very effective, specifically with DACA cases. I would definitely use the ombudsman's. Lots of people are joining right now, both on TikTok and on YouTube and Facebook and our Instagram. Welcome, welcome. Let me know where you're from and ask your questions. I'll take them in the order received. Mohini is asking on YouTube, I petitioned my son in 2012. I haven't heard anything from NVC. Well, the reason why, remember, if it's not an immediate relative, so if it's not a spouse or a parent of a US citizen, you guys are going into a preference system. You have to wait for your priority date. Check the visa bulletin to see when your dates are current. And based on that, you can see when your case is going to become current, because otherwise it's not. Sam is asking, I-45 approved, but there's no green card being produced. Don't rely on the USCIS notification so much because they're not always accurate. If your I-45 was approved, give it some time. Typically, it should take about 60 days for them to produce your green card. So don't worry about it. You're going to, you'll get it. As long as your I-45 is really approved, you should be fine. Can an adjustment of status or travel document expedite if my husband is in the military and we need to move? For sure. If you have a case in the military, they will accept that as a reason to expedite, and I would definitely use it as a reason to expedite your case. All right, we've got here Afine. Thanks for all you're doing. My wife is a U.S. citizen, filed for I-129 K1 Fiance since last year, and I have reason to travel to Canada. Can I meet my wife there or come back to Nigeria? No, you don't have to go and meet her in your home country. You can meet her in any country. That's fine. And while the K1 visa is processed, you guys can meet in any country. It's not limited for you to meet in the country of her residence. Lots of good questions on TikTok. Julie's asking, can you practice in Arizona? Well, I can. Yeah, immigration is federal, so I can practice in all 50 states. I can help clients in all 50 states. We have offices in San Diego and in Connecticut. So the best way to contact us, I'll say it again. If you're watching this on TikTok, do not send me a DM the next couple of days because we have a lot of DMs. We're still trying to go through them. The quickest way, we set up a special link in my bio. Just go to the bio on TikTok. It's called immigrationasap.com. Just use that link, put your information there, and we'll contact you immediately. It's going to be much faster than the DMs because we're still catching up. We have more than 300 DMs to go through. So please be patient with us. And but use the link in the bio. It's designed for you guys who are on the live. Check it out right now. And also, if you're watching the live right now and you're not following me yet, please follow my account so you can see all my videos. We post every single day and on the stories. So follow my account right now if you haven't done so on TikTok. And for those watching this on YouTube, if you're here for the first time, please subscribe to my channel. And to get in touch with me, the best way to get in touch with me would be through this number right here. Use this number on the screen. Mention that you were in the live, and you can book an appointment much faster than any other way. So that's specifically for you guys who are watching this live. All right, let's see. We have a few more questions from let me see here. All right, here we go. Any news on DACA? So, like I said, we don't have any news on DACA. We're waiting for some kind of court action to happen sometime this year. Once that happens, there's going to be they're going to appeal it to the Supreme Court, and then we'll see what happens. Probably, I don't think it's going to be too many big changes in DACA this year. This is asking, my N400 interview was scheduled for August 2023. It's more than 200 days, no response. When I called immigration, she said, still pending office review. What should I do? I'm from Chicago. So you had your interview and they're still reviewing it after the interview. You could file a lawsuit. Remember, if you have your N400 interview for citizenship and they haven't made a decision in 120 days, you have the right to sue them and they will give you a decision. So, Adisa, please reach out to me directly and we can help you. Remember, there's no reason why you should be waiting for so long for a decision on your N400. If after the interview you'll be waiting for a few months, then they have to make a decision. All right, let's see who's waiting to join us for the video call. Video question on TikTok. We're going to take also some questions on YouTube as well. We have Ragi. Yes. If you can open your video, that'll be great so people can see you as well. But let us know where you're from and ask a question.
Hi, hello.
Yeah.
I cannot open my camera.
Okay, that's fine. Just let me know where you're from and ask your question.
Hi, I'm from the Philippines.
Okay.
My immigrant case is under EB3.
Okay.
And my case is currently undergoing administrative processing.
Okay.
And then since February 2023, I completed the NVC requirements. And then from July 2023, the paralegal informed me that my case is under administrative processing.
Okay.
And 180 days was over already
Okay.
for the administrative processing. And then when the paralegal sent a follow-up regarding my case, NVC replied, still undergoing administrative processing.
Okay.
So my question is, I'm thinking what might be the reasons that my case has to undergo administrative processing.
So, Raki, there could be many reasons. It could be random. There could be some kind of investigation they're trying to check maybe on your name. It doesn't mean that you did something bad. It's just like, they have a list of things, of people that they need to check. And so it's not necessarily mean it's something bad. Admin processing is happening a lot, especially in EB cases. And the key is to keep following up with them to make sure that the attorney or whoever is on the case checks with them what's happening with your case. And remember, if a case goes to admin processing, eventually they will approve it. They want to approve it. That's the reason why they send it. Otherwise, they would have denied you before. You know what I mean? So it's not a bad thing necessarily. It's a pain because it's taking a while, but make sure you follow up with them. Ask your attorney to follow up with them.
I was trying to search for some reasons in the internet,
Yeah.
and the reasons that I might think the reason that I in my mind, um, first is I had two non-immigrant visa application denied before,
Okay.
and then my husband um, had been arrested before, but the case is completed was completed now.
Okay. I mean, that could be also a reason, but you know what? It doesn't really matter what the reason is, Rocky, because you can come up with a thousand reasons. The point is that whatever the reason is, they are investigating, they're checking, they're going to clear you. If they need more information, they'll ask you, and that's all you can do right now. You know what I mean? So I think that's why it's important to follow up, because if you follow up, they might tell you, oh, you know what? We actually need some information. We need more information about your visa denials. We need more information about your husband, if that's really the reason. So I wouldn't speculate too much. I would just wait for them to respond and just make sure you follow up with them. You have the right to follow up every 60 days. Okay?
I can also send follow up, or I will let the paralegal or the attorneys to do
Yeah,
that.
I would have the attorney do it. If you have a lawyer, make sure your lawyer does it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And
Thank you
keep
so
good luck
much.
and keep me posted. So, like I said, admin processing is something that does happen. Like I said, for many reasons, could be visa denials, but it could be even something random. The point is that once you hit admin processing, you have to keep following up with them. Otherwise, they're gonna work on your case. All right, we've got a lot of questions here from TikTok. What can I do if I had my AOS interview 6 months ago? No decision. I have reached out to ombudsman and congressman. All right, so that's a good question. So you had your green card interview. It's been 6 months. You've done everything. You went to the congressman, you went to the ombudsman, and nothing is happening. Well, at that point, you are basically out of options, and you kind of count down towards when you can actually file a lawsuit. Thanks, Hatch. I appreciate it. So in your case, a lawsuit will be the solution eventually, but it's too early for you right now. But it's good that you've done all these efforts, because now we have evidence to show that you tried to invent, you tried to follow up, you did all these things, and nothing happened. Rosika is asking on a YouTube stream, my fiance failed his medical exam. It was given 1 year to wait to do the new medical. The day has come, and what will happen next? He failed due to him saying that he used drugs before. So that's a very interesting question, and this happens often. So you go to the interview at the U.S. Embassy, like this person went. He went there. The doctor is asking questions, chitty chatty with him, and he's telling him verbally, "Oh, so I guess you have fun. You like to have fun. Yeah, you smoke once in a while. Yeah, I smoke once in a while." And then they take that verbal conversation and they accuse you of being a drug user, just like what happened in this case with this Rosilda's husband. And then they tell you 1 year, you have to go back 1 year, retest again, and apply for new medical. So this can happen verbal admission. Be careful what you say at the interview, but also it can be if you get tested at the time of your medical exam for any kind of drug use or anything like that. So like I said, after the 1 year, you have to go back to the embassy, get a new medical, get retested, and if all goes well, they're going to let you go back and attend the interview. But again, the verbal admission of what you say or what they interpret is a big one. So just be careful. Don't speak too much. Answer the questions they ask you normally, but don't be chitty chatty with them, and because they will interpret some of your conversations to be something that is not. And in this case, it's they'll just use it. They'll use it against you. So let's see here. My Fabricia is asking on TikTok. My cousin filed for her parents, but the process still in review. But she has to get a divorce. Any advice? So I mean, if she is the U.S. citizen and she filed for her parents, a divorce is not going to be a problem. It's not going to impact the case. Once again, welcome everybody who's joining us. We have a lot of people coming on YouTube TikTok, welcome, welcome. If you're here for the first time, please follow my account. And if you need to get a hold of me, do not send me a DMs. Our DMs are full for the moment. We have a lot of people. We try to catch up, but you can use the link in my bio. Very simple link, one link. Put your information there, and my team will get in touch with you immediately. El Guya is asking, I sent a request for evidence for I-45 and I received it in September, but no answer whatsoever. Am I on a waiting list? So we get a lot of questions like that, both on TikTok and our YouTube stream, about people who respond to requests for evidence and then they're just waiting forever. Yes, the reason is there's a huge backlog. Whenever a request for evidence is issued, essentially you kind of like going back in time. They're taking their time to respond. They are understaffed right now, so I'm not surprised why you have to wait. We've got a Doyle who's waiting
Hey,
patiently on YouTube. Good to see you, my friend. Where are you from? And ask your
yeah,
question, please.
I'm Haidili from Nigeria.
Excellent.
Um,
Where are you now? Are you in Nigeria now, or where are you now?
yes, I'm in Nigeria.
Okay,
I'm calling
excellent.
from Nigeria.
What is your
Please,
question?
I want to make inquiry. I asked my question. I think you answered it, but I wasn't really fine with the response. So I want more clarity.
Okay,
My fiance is in the US, and I'm going to Canada very soon.
okay.
And we ship out for a K1 visa. So I don't know if it'd be nice to meet her in Canada, then just do the marriage in Canada, or I have to
Yeah,
come back to my
absolutely.
country.
So you can go to Canada, you can visit her. Don't get married until your K1 is approved, right? So you're just gonna go visit her, right? But you're not gonna marry her.
Oh, okay. No, she's in the US. I'm going to Canada for something else. So I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
thinking maybe we could meet
You
and
guys can meet,
go
but
married.
remember, if you have a K1 visa and you're gonna marry your fiance overseas, the K1 is gonna be canceled, and you're gonna have to start again by filing a marriage case, right? Okay.
Thank you.
All right. No worries. Okay. So let's take another question here. Um, Evgenia is asking, will 751 wait time improve this year? That's a good question. So, any of you that are filing for the removal of conditions of your green card, you know you have to wait a long time right now. Um, it's taking quite some time right now. It's not going to be better this year, unfortunately. They still have a huge backlog. That's the reason why they're giving 4-year extensions on the 751s. So just be patient. Be patient with the government. And like I said, you have an extension 4 years, work and travel. It's not that bad, but it's not going to be. I don't see it being faster this year. Um, Carla is asking if your adjustment of status case was marked as interview waived, can they still schedule you for an interview? Um, they could, absolutely. They can always change their mind last minute, and we've seen those cases where your interview is supposedly waived, and then they still call you last minute. I don't think that is going to happen to you because, like I said, they're really trying to waive interviews when they can. Um, but it is possible. It is possible. Um, Eduardo, how do we get a hold of you? Okay, so if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to get a hold of me, take advantage of this live. Use the phone number on the screen 619-483-4549. Use this number right now. Write it down, use it, and mention when you text that you'll see me on the live, and that's the best way to do it. And those of you watching on TikTok, as I mentioned, do not send me DMs in the next couple of days because we're still catching up on our DMs from the last few days. But I specifically created a link in my bio just for you. It's called immigrationasap.com. Click on that link, and you'll be able to schedule a time to speak with me. Best way to do that. Remember, we're streaming here every single day at 5 p.m. Pacific. So if you didn't get your questions answered today, you can get them answered again tomorrow. And we're going to be ending the live stream on YouTube right now. We'll continue on TikTok. We have a bunch of people that are still waiting to go on video. If you want to go on video on TikTok right now, click on the bottom, request to join on video, and I'll add you in the next couple of minutes. My friends on YouTube, we're going to end the stream right now. We're here every single day for the next 10 days. So if you didn't get your questions answered today, please come back tomorrow. Lex, you'll be the last question I'm going to answer on screen. If a citizen spouse lives in subsidized housing due to low income, EBT, we have a joint sponsor. Does that affect us? No, it's not going to impact you. That's not considered to be a public charge for immigration purposes. We've got Alejandra, Julio, Celeste, Focus Man. All you guys who have questions on YouTube, come back tomorrow. I will answer them. I promise. We're here for the next 10 days anyway. So thanks for watching tonight, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.